fat guy in a little door situation. It's the tiny baggage door, and I'm gigantic, but I'm crawling through it for you. For you. Okay, friends, another 3 hours working on airplanes. Also, go Oklahoma. We are back working on the B35 Bonanza. This airplane still doesn't have a name. Before we start it, we have to figure out a name. Maybe if you have ideas, you can drop it down in the comments. Also remember to like and subscribe to the video. I hate having to ask people to do that, but as I check my statistics, as I am an engineer, I realize that a lot of people watching the videos aren't actually subscribed, and you're commenting, you're interacting, but you might not know when the next video comes out. So remember to do that. This airplane now has all the inspection panels opened up, and I am now working on removing the interior. And now that I'm removing the interior, a thought came to my mind: why put the same old interior back in? I have a couple partners on this airplane, and I'm going to send them a text message right now and say, I think we should do a slight upgrade to the upholstery on this airplane, because I think it's worth it. The more I tear this airplane apart, the more I realize that someone really cared for it. The insulation is in good shape. The pulleys look great. The entire airframe is coated in ACF 50 or Corrosion X. People have added vents, just ear vents, that blow in comfortable directions onto the instrument panel. And they've done their best to cover up some of the cosmetic imperfections on the existing panel. I probably have some stuff to say about that, and maybe we might be able to jazz up that panel a little bit without doing any structural modifications or requiring a 337. So I really do think that this airplane has been cared for over the years. And the deeper I dive, the more I realize that is actually the case. Even the zip ties, the routing of the wires onto the instrument panel is very clean. The floorboards are like in brand new condition. Take a look at this. Remember how old this airplane is? It's a 60-year-old airplane. The floorboards were replaced at some point, and they're in great shape. While we have them out, I'll take the chance to take the time to get some measurements of those for you all and post them somewhere online. Still working on a website to make all that happen. But today, let me turn this camera around. We have removed the back seat, which was different from my seat, but pretty easy. They're just two pins. There's one pin under the seat there. You pull it out and it just kind of springs up, and then on the opposite side right down here, there's also a pin. You pull it out and then the back seat just slides out. I got to remove the two front seats here if we're going to do upholstery work. So these seats will come out. They're just hinged right here with some 5/16 bolts, it looks like. So I'll be able to pull those out. And then the sidewall just pops out. There's really nothing holding it in place but the armrest, the cigarette tray, or the ashtray, which I've already removed, which is that hole right there. And then a couple pop tabs all along the upholstery. And I think when we put it back together, instead of going in with those pop tabs, you can see holes around the perimeter right here where it snaps into place. We can just run a line of Velcro, industrial strength Velcro around that area, put the upholstery in. That way every annual, it's that much easier to remove all of it and just install it again. So that's probably going to be that. And then while I'm opening it up and seeing how great everything is, you start thinking about what you can do to improve this situation. It's got a working comm, it's got a working transponder, it's got a working ILS or nav, and then it had a Garmin 660, which I probably will sell, or maybe even put over here on the right side of the airplane just for added situational awareness. But I have a 430 that I can put into this thing, and we can reroute some of the audio cables and not have to touch that instrument panel at all. We can just go right on the front of it with an overlay like I did on my airplane, so no structural modification required. What other cool things? You've seen the pulleys back here before. I've taken all the screws out of the floorboards here, so these floorboards are ready to come up so I can look under them. This fuel tank we will probably keep in place. there's no pulley between here and back here, so it's just cable. So you can snake a borescope down there, take a nice good look at the cable. I don't want to have to drain this tank, although that might be required. We'll have to talk to the A&P and see. But yeah, it is. The airplane's looking really, really nice. There was even a non-WAS antenna that was already mounted to the front of the airframe, and the antenna cable is just kind of hanging out behind the instrument panel. That'll hook up nicely to the 430 or whatever we put in this airplane. So I'm very encouraged by what we're seeing, and I'm going to continue working on this airplane here today for another 30 minutes or so to get the upholstery removed so we can get some measurements and then take it to an upholstery shop and try to get them to do that. Generation Global doesn't have a pattern for this, I think, so maybe I'll work with them on one, or maybe I'll just get this to be a one-off. There are only so many of these airplanes still out there flying, so for them to go do a new pattern for this airplane, I don't know makes financial sense to them as a business, but we'll see how that all goes. I've already taken apart everything I can take apart today, so let's get pulling out the interior, and I'll talk to you here in a little bit. Okay, it is a little bit later, maybe 20 minutes later. I just had a thought. I got a question the other day because someone has realized that I've been doing so much with airplanes. They're thinking, "Hey, are you starting a brokerage? Are you flipping airplanes? What's your goal? What are you doing?" And I'm just going to take this moment to explain the situation just a little bit. I want to inspire and encourage people to go out and live their best general aviation dreams. I want to stop making excuses or having people make excuses for why they didn't buy that airplane or get into that partnership or join that flying club or whatever it is. So I am doing this to show you that with a little bit of sweat equity and 4 hours on my Sunday, I've come down here, I'm helping out my A&Ps get ready to do the annual on this airplane. I am putting the excitement of general aviation into my own hands. If you're not doing that for yourself, then you're missing an opportunity to participate in one of the greatest hobbies, sports, professions in the world. I'm not going to let that pass me by. So for me to inspire you to get out there and do small airplane stuff, I have to show you that it is possible. That is what I'm hoping, and that is why I'm doing all of this. I don't want to flip airplanes. I have a job that pays me a really decent salary. I don't need to flip airplanes. I make decent money already. It's just me trying to rescue these things so that one of you has an opportunity. There's the whole rant. That's why this stuff exists. That's why I'm doing all of this, is so we won't lose more of these airplanes to rot and neglect. And, someone out there just not stepping up and doing something about it. I'm doing what I can. And I hope you come and join me at some point. And we'll see where this goes. Okay, I got to get back to work. Let's crawl in here. It's like fat guy in a little door situation. It's the tiny baggage door. And I'm gigantic, but I'm crawling through it for you. For you. Okay, take a look. We've taken up all the floorboards. When I say we, it's me. I've taken up all the floorboards. I've taken all the upholstery out of the airplane. So anything that has vinyl or leather wrapped around, it's taken out of the airplane. The insulation's in pretty decent shape. It's missing a little bit right here because I suspect there's been a little bit of mouse action right in this area. Probably wouldn't have taken down this whole thing, but we'll want to replace that at some point. But the rest of the insulation looks to be in good shape. I don't think this is an airplane where we're going to redo all this insulation. It looks to be fine. We'll patch up where we need to patch up. Everything looks good so far. I found some pretty obvious things, like there is a old antenna right here that some control cable has been just riding on the top of. There's no clearance right there, so that's an issue. There's also an electrical cable that's right up there in the middle of the screen where there's a control cable passing through and it's just rubbing against that electrical cable. So stuff like that we'll be looking out for. But I I'm going to leave that, any of the obvious stuff that I spot, of course, I'll note it down, but I'll leave the rest of it for my my maintenance professionals. So this is what the inside looks like so far. This blue piece right here that you're looking at, I can't get it out because the fuel tank is in the way. So I don't know if I'll be able to shift the fuel tank enough to get that upholstery piece in. The next time we do this, we may want to put a slit right here, so we can just slide this on top of it, and then a cover piece to, make it aesthetically pleasing. But that's the only piece that won't come out of the airplane today, and it's a minor piece, so I think we'll be good not doing that for now. But yeah, I haven't seen any major red flags. You see this little piece right here where the trim cable is passing through, where it's butting up against. It's just kind of floating and hanging out on this side. It's right in the middle of the screen. Let's see if I can get a hand on it. So that should be over here somewhere, stopping the cable from rubbing on something. So stuff like that. It's just a piece of phenolic that's been broken off, I suspect. But the pulleys look to be in good shape that I've seen so far. Cables look to be in good shape. The landing gear transmission assembly is under here. Very good access. We will have to jack the airplane up and test that. We still have the required amount of turns, or eighth of a turn or something for this transmission. There's a fill hole right here for the fluid. The gear motor is back there, right in the middle of the screen. There's a vent under here. So yeah, we'll get over here at some point and get familiar with this airplane. Back on out of here. But it's been a productive day. So everything is opened up as far as I can go. Inspections start next. This was not a lot of work. I'm huffing and puffing right now because I was kind of hunched in there. It really wasn't that much work. It's a few screws, and we will replace all those screws with matching hardware when we put it all back together. And Velcro. And Velcro has come so far since this airplane was designed that it's the better choice now. Instead of putting back 6,000 screws, you put a screw where something really can't move, like near the rudder pedals, we'll put screws back, but for the upholstery, we'll probably go with Velcro. Okay, so that's what we got for today. I'm gonna go pack up my tools, make sure I have everything, and then text my team and my partners to let them know what I've done today and what I've seen today. Here's some armrests. They're like made out of some solid foam. These might be a good candidate for 3D printing. But I'll give them a little summary of what I've done just so that they know that progress is being made. Oh, I did break one thing. This is a little lens that goes in front of the gear indicator. The top was already broken, but when I was removing the bottom, it just kind of broke off too. So I'll take this home, get some measurements, and then I can make this out of acrylic, and I can engrave the back of it. It says up, down, landing gear position. So that should be an easy one. So I'll take this home with me. I'll put it in my pocket right now because I'm going to forget it. And then I put the airworthiness certificate in the bag with all the rest of the logbooks because I want those to stay together. I'm also going to put the fuel selector knob, and there's a little pin. There's a little pin for it right there. You can see me kind of popping it out. I'm going to put this with the rest of the stuff for this airplane as well. So where did I put the there we go. I'm going to put that fuel selector in the bag that has the logbooks also, just so I can remind myself in the future. It is raining heavily outside, so I don't know if you're picking up on the sounds. I took a bunch of hardware out today. None of it is difficult to figure out. So I'm just going to put all of them into one bag and kind of label it, the date, and then upholstery removal and floorboards. When we put it all back together, there's only really two sizes of screws, a number 6 and a number 8 screw that goes into most of this stuff. So I'll just get a new pack of those and replace everything. There was some old mismatched hardware just kind of over the years. It kind of, it is whatever it is. People put whatever they want. And that's fine. It's functional. But when you're servicing this airplane, to have one screwdriver, one type of screw, makes things so much nicer. Let me clean up all of this stuff, put the hardware away, and then I'm going to head out. I'll catch you later.